Hey guys, in this video we're going to continue building our social media app. This time we'll add the post model and a simple social feed. This won't be a complete social feed yet. We're just going to list all of the posts from the newest to oldest and add a place to create a post. Later, once we have some other pieces done, we'll come back and complete all of this and add some more details for the social feed to make it unique for each viewer. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to create a post model. So if I open up Sublime Text here and go into my models.py, we can go ahead and create a model. So first I import a couple things. So I'm going to import time zone. So I'm going to do from Django.utils import time zone. They'll do from Django.contrib.auth.models import the user model. So just import user. Now let's go ahead and create the post model. So I'll create a class here, and I'll call it post, and it will inherit from models.model. And we need three fields here. We need a body, just the body of text, the created on date, and the user that created the post. So I'll first create a variable called body, which will be models.text field. And then I'll go ahead and create a created on variable. This will be equal to models.date time field. Then we'll pass in default equals timezone.now. And then finally we need the user, so I'm going to put this in a variable called author. This will be models.foreignkey, and we'll put user comma on delete equals models.cascade. So what we're doing here is first we just have our body. This will be what the user types into to create a post. Then we have a created on variable, and this has a default value of timezone.now. So we're not going to give the user an option to change the date. So we'll leave this one blank, and it will always default to the current time that the user hits the submit button. And then finally, this author field is just a models.foreignkey to the user. So it just creates a relationship to the user table and finds the user that's currently logged in and puts that in this field right here. With that done, let's go ahead and save this. And then let's jump into our views to create our social feed view. So in here, and actually I just noticed here I put this within the landing app. We don't want that, so let's go ahead and just grab all this here. We'll cut it out here. We'll save the file, make sure it's empty. And let's go into our social app and paste it within our models file here. So right here, we'll go ahead and just paste that there and save that. And then let's go into our views file for our social app. So I'll come down here, jump into here, and let's create a view. So for this view, we're going to use the generic view class that we used in the previous two projects. So first let's import that. So we'll do from Django.views import view. Let's also import our post model. So from.models import post. Now let's go ahead and create that view. So it'll be a class. We'll just call it post list view since we're listing all the posts in our social feed, and it'll inherit from the view class we imported. So in case you're not familiar, this view class allows us to put methods for each HTTP request that we would need to handle. So in this case, if we just want to handle a GET request, we can put some code here for when the user goes to this view within just the browser, or just navigates to this page in the browser. Or we can do a post request to handle any sort of form submission on that page as well. So first, let's go ahead and create a GET method to handle any GET requests that come to this URL. So we do a def get. This will be a self request *args *quargs. So anything we put in here will run whenever the user tries to view this page. And so what we want to do is first we want to grab all the posts and order them by newest to oldest. So to do that, we'll create a variable called post. This will equal post.objects.all.order_by. And we'll do, in quotes, minus created on, which is that field we just created in our post model, and the minus will reverse it, so it'll be newest to oldest. And later we'll come back and we'll change this so it doesn't grab all the posts. It only grabs the posts for the users that the current user is following. But for now, we're going to list out all the posts. And then we can create a context, and this will be set equal to just a dictionary. We can pass in post_list, which will equal just posts. And then down here, we can go ahead and do a return render request, and we'll do social/post_list.html, and we'll pass in our context. We'll go ahead and save that. Now let's create a urls.py within this social app. So I'll go up here and I'll create a new file. I'll call it urls.py. And now I'm going to go ahead and import a few things and create a URL pattern for that view we just created. So first we'll import path. So do from Django.urls import path. And then I'm going to go ahead and import that view I just made. So from.views import post list view. And now I'll create a URL patterns list. And within here, I'm going to create a new path. And we're going to put it at the root. And then we're going to go ahead and put our post list view.as_view and give it a name equaling to post-list. Now I'm going to go ahead and save that, and I'm going to go ahead and include this into our root URLs file. So I'll scroll down here and come to that, which is right here. Now below this accounts, I'm going to go ahead and create another path, and it will be social/, so all these URLs will be localhost 40,000/social/whatever, and then we'll go ahead and do include social.urls. Let's go ahead and save that. And now with that done, we should be able to list all our posts. But we currently don't have any posts. So let's go ahead and jump into the admin.py, register this model so we can view it in the admin panel, and create a couple of test posts so we can test that everything's working. So if I jump into my admin.py, I can first import that model I just made. So from.models import posts. And then down here, I can go ahead and do admin.site.register and pass in post. And this will make it so I can view it within the admin page. So if I jump back into my browser, come up here, let's go to /admin, and then I'll log in with the account I made earlier. And if I jump into posts right here, you can see it, that's showing up now. If I go inside of here, oh, one more thing I forgot to do before we go any further. I didn't migrate the new changes over. So let's go ahead and go back here, and let's go make that change real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the server. I'm going to do a Python manage.py make migrations. Pull this over a little bit. Run this again and do, this time, Python manage.py migrate. There we go. Let's go ahead and run the server again. And let's go ahead, reload the page here, and go to posts. And now I can go here and do add posts and create a couple new posts. So I'll just do my first post. Author will be admin. The date should default to now. If not, you can hit this button, this now button, and it will do that. Hit save. We'll go ahead and create one more. I'll just do second post. And once again, I'll put it on the admin user. We'll go ahead and save that. Now let's go ahead and view the site. Here's our landing page. If we go up here to social, we're getting an error saying that social post_list does not exist. And that's because I completely forgot to make the template. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So inside of my social app here, I can go ahead and create a new folder, and I'll call it templates. And within this templates folder, I'll create another folder and call it social. So we'll just put at the default location for templates for each app, which is just the app name slash templates slash the app name again. And then within there, I'll go ahead and create my post_list.html. So what we'll do here, first we'll go ahead and extend our base template from the landing page. We'll reuse the same base template since we don't really need to make any changes there. So I'll go ahead and just do extends landing/base.html, which is just the template we created last time. I'm going to go ahead and load in Crispy Forms, which we installed and used last time as well. And this will make our form later on a little prettier. We're not going to use that right now, but we'll use it here in a second. So we'll do just load crispy_forms_tags. And now below here, we go ahead and create our content block. So do block content. And then down here, I'll go ahead and do in block content. And now within here, first I'm going to go ahead and just create a simple container, row, and column. So we'll do div a class equaling to container. And then inside of here, we'll do a div a class equaling to row, justify content center. This is just normal bootstrap styles. We'll give it a margins top -3 should be fine. And then within this div here, we're going to create another div, give it a class of column-md-5, and then column-sm-12 border-bottom. For now, I'm going to close out these tags. Go ahead and save that. And for now, just as a test, make sure everything's working, I'm just going to put an H1, and I'll just put test just for now, just to make sure everything's working. Let's come back here, reload this page, and it's still saying post list is not defined. Okay, that was just a strange error. I stopped the server, reran it, and it worked fine. So here we go. So now we have this test post showing on this template. So everything's set up correctly. Back inside of our text editor here, now we want to go ahead and list out all of the posts that we have saved in our database. So to do this, we'll jump back into our HTML template here. And we can use the Django templating syntax, use a for loop to loop through all of the posts. So in our views, we already created this post list variable that holds all of our posts. So we can go and loop through that and list out every single post. So I'm going to go and delete this H1 test here. And above this row here, so I'm going to go right below the container, and above the row, I'm going to put curly braces and 2% signs. And inside of here, I'm going to do for post in post_list. So now each post is available with the variable name of post. So now we can go ahead and put all of our attributes within here that we want to show. So for now, this will be really basic, just so we make sure everything's working. We'll put a p tag, and I'll put a strong tag inside of that. And I'll do post dot, we'll say author. And then I'll close out the strong tag first. I'll put a space, and I'll put the created on date, so 2% sign or 2 curly braces. And in case you're not familiar, 2 curly braces just put the variable within the template. So in this case, post to author is just a variable we want to put within the HTML. And within this one, we'll do post.created_on to put the date right there. Then below here, I'm going to go and just put another p tag and put 2 curly braces and put post.body to put the body below that. Go ahead and save that, and then we want to make sure we close off this tag. So every time you use a for loop or an if statement or anything like that within the Django templating syntax, we need to make sure we close it out. So we'll go right below this closing div here, and we'll do %signs within our curly braces, and we'll do end for. We'll save that. We'll come back here and reload the page, and there we go. So now we have our user, the date that it was posted, and the text below that. And it looks like our date is not quite right. This is probably UTC time. For now, we'll leave this and we'll come back and make this change later to make it the local time of the user. But for now, everything's working fine. With that done, the last piece we want to do in this video is we want to add a little form here that the user can type in, hit the submit button, and then add a post to this list. So to do this, first let's go back to our views.py, and we want to add a form here. So what we'll do here is we'll create a variable called form, and we'll set it equal to whatever form we create. But we don't have a form yet. So to make this form, let's go ahead and create a new file within our social app. So up here, I'll create a new file, and I'll call it forms.py. And now within here, we can create a Django form. And if you're not familiar with Django Forms, what this allows us to do is we can use this thing called a model form that will create an HTML form automatically, and it creates it based off of a model object within our models.py. So we can just put the form attribute or the form variable within our template. It will automatically generate a form for us, and we can easily, on submit, create a new model object from that form. So to do this, first we need to import forms. So from Django import forms. We also want to import our model, our post model. So from .models import post. Now below here, we'll create a class and we'll call it post form. This will inherit from forms.model form. And when we create a model form, first thing we need to do is you create another inner class within our form class called meta. And then within here, we can put the data we want for the form. So in this case, we need to set a model, which will equal post. So this form knows it should be based off our post model. And then below that, we need to specify what fields we want. So we look back in our models.py. We have a body, a created on, and an author. This is set automatically, and this is set behind the scenes within our view later on, based on whatever user is logged in. So the only thing we want to show up in our actual form is the body field itself. So what we can do here is just do fields equals and a list with a string of body inside of it. Normally we could do like here we can put author if you want to add that as well, but in this case we just want one field, so we just have a single string with that field name. In this case, it's body. That's great. Now there's a few things we want to do though. It'd be nice if we could remove the label. That's all we really need to do to get the form to show up. So we save this, jump back into our view. We can do, we can do form equals, and then we can do the form we just created. So first, come up here, let's import it. So from.forms import post form. And down here we can do post form and just create a new, instantiate a new post form like this. So let's do post form empty empty percent signs. Now we can pass into our context. So down here we can pass in form. This will equal form, or be set to form. We can save that. And now we can go into our template and we can just put our form we just made into the actual template. So let's jump back into our post list.html. And now let's go ahead and copy this row here. Put it above our for loop right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete all this stuff inside of here. And we'll leave all this the same, except down here we're going to put H5. And this will be add a post. And now we'll go ahead and copy this again, put it below here, and this will be where our actual form is stored. So first, let's go ahead and create a form tag. So form, and we'll put a method on it equaling to post. Now within this form tag here, we can go ahead and put our actual form. So we can go ahead and just put our curly braces, 2 curly braces. Inside here, put form. And I can go and add the crispy filter to make it look a little better. So I can go ahead and do a pipe and then crispy. Now, since this is a form, we need to go ahead and add our Csrf token. And this is required by Django. So we'll go ahead and put another template syntax right here with our curly braces %, and we'll go ahead and type Csrf _ token. And this comes from the documentation. You just need it there every time for all these posts for a form with a method of post. So just make sure you have that there. We'll go ahead and save that. Come back here, reload the page, and now we have a form here. Looks like we have an extra curly brace though. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. Yeah, I don't know why that's there. Let's go ahead and come back here and reload the page. There we go. So now we have a little text box here they could type in. Now it would be nice if we could make this a little smaller, remove this body label, and just add some placeholder text that says something to kind of prompt the user that this is how you enter a post. Luckily with our post form model form, we can easily do that. So let's jump back into our forms.py file. Let's add some things to our post form. What we can do here is we can set a variable equal to each field. So down here we specified a field of body right here. So I can go ahead and just up here and do body equals, and then I'll go ahead and first put forms.char field to tell it it's just characters we want to input. And now within here I can do some different things. First I can set the label just to an empty string. So label equals empty string, and that will effectively remove the label. Below that I can go ahead and create a widget, and this will tell it what the actual input should be. In this case it will be a forms.text area, and inside of this widget we can go ahead and put an attrs dictionary, or set equal to a dictionary, and inside of here we can put all the different attributes we want. So first we'll do rows, and this will be 3 to make it a little shorter, and then we can go ahead and put a placeholder attribute and pass in some placeholder text. For now let's do say something ... and that will prompt the user to enter something there. Come up here, reload the page, and there we go. Now it's a much smaller, and we have some text here. It says say something, and our label is gone as well. And so if we had more fields, we could create more variables for each field to set some customized styles and attributes to it right here. Perfect. So now this is all great. There's one issue though. There's no way to actually submit anything yet. So let's go ahead and add a button too. So back in our post list.html, we'll go ahead and go below our form here. I'm going to go and create a div. This will be set to a class of d-grid and then gap-2. So I think I talked about this in the last video. For Bootstrap 5, which is what we're using here, you can't use the btn-block to make a block button that spans the entire column. Instead, you have to put d-grid and then gap-2, which will do the same thing. Now inside of here, I'm going to go ahead and create a button. So I'll do a button, give it a class of btn-success, and then margin top -3. We'll put some text on here of submit, and we'll go ahead and close off this tag. Let's go ahead and save that. Come back here, reload the page, and there we go. Now we have a submit button. Let's go ahead and create some more space here though. So let's go ahead and do a margin bottom right here, -5, and save that. Come back here, reload this, and that pulls us down just to kind of separate these two pieces. But there we go. That's all working great. Unfortunately, right now, if we were to type something in here and hit submit, it's not going to work because we haven't handled a post request yet. So back in our views.py, we handled a GET request. Let's go ahead and handle a post request as well. So now down here, I'll do def post, pass in self request *args *quargs. And now let's add the logic for when the user hits the submit button. So first, we want this page, once it's submitted, just to show the same page again. So we still need to grab the posts, we still need to create a form and all that stuff here that we did last time. So let's go ahead first, create a posts variable. This will be just equal to post.objects.all dot order underscore by. We'll do minus created underscore on. Then we go ahead and create a form again. So form equals post form. Although this time, inside of these parentheses, we want to pass in the request.post data. And we can access that with just request.post in all caps. Now below this, we'll go ahead and check if the form is valid. So if form.is underscore valid. And then we'll go ahead, and if it's valid, we want to go ahead and just save whatever was typed in here as a post, and just, so it can be displayed down here in this list. So we need to do a couple of things here. First, we need to go ahead and just save the form, but we also need to set the author on the new post object to be whatever the currently signed in user is. And then we need to save the post. So first, let's go ahead and create a variable called new underscore post. This will hold the new post object that we'll create, and we can create that by doing form.save and then commit equals false. Now this new post is just a new post object that we can change to whatever else we want to real quick. So first, we want to set the author field. So new underscore post dot author, to access that field, will equal request dot user, and that will get the currently signed in user. Then below that, we can do new underscore post dot save, and that will save the new post in the database. And that's all we need to do to add a new post to the database so we can display it in the list. Now I'm going to go ahead and just grab all of this right here, because this will be the exact same. So I'm going to just copy this, and I'll come down here, and I'll just paste that there. And that should be it. If we save this, come back here, reload the page, and I type something in, just hello, and hit submit. Now we have hello coming on down here, and I can go and create as many posts as I want, and they'll keep being added at the top here whenever we submit it. So there we have another post. So that's all working great. That's where we're going to stop for today. I'm going to come back soon. I'm going to add another video where we can go ahead and add comments, add the ability for the user to delete and edit their own posts, and other things like that. Add a profile, some followers lists, and all other things we'll need for a complete social networking app. So yeah, that's where we're going to stop today. Thank you for watching. The code will be in the description below, as well as a link to the written tutorial. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.